We talk about Sahasranamam, that is there, as the name itself suggests, it is 1,000 names of any god. Basically, let it be Vishnu, let it be Lalita, or let it be any god. For every god, basically, or even in praise of Guru, we have Sahasranamam. As the name itself suggests, Sahasram is 1,000, Nama is different names of the goddess. Now, there are different ways in which Sahasranamam is chanted. For example, in general, like the way we learn and chant usually is in the form of a stotram. So it is usually in form of shlokas that are there. But another way of chanting is Sahasranamavali. So this is one thing which every one of us we must note. There is a difference between Sahasranama stotram and Sahasranamavali. Namavali is chanting every nama. For example, we have Lalita Sahasranamavali, Shrimatre Namaha. So one nama will be chanted. Vishnave Namaha. Vishnu Sahasranama, one nama will be chanted. Whereas in the case of Sahasranama Stotram, we have shlokas that are chanted and we will not chant every nama. In one shloka only there will be many namas that come in. Yeah? So we have to be careful, we must know the difference between both. Yeah? Now Vishnu Sahasranama, like we know, is a part of Sri Mahabharatam, one of our itihasas. And Lalita Sahasranama is a part of one of our Puranas, that is Brahmanda Puranam. Lalita Devi you can also see on the screen in front of you. So Lalita Tripura Sundari, that's how we have the Nama or this Sahasranama that is chanted. Now, a very very important question. Amongst so many Sahasranamas that are there, in praise of various gods, deities, gurus, and so on, why Vishnu Sahasranama and Lalita Sahasranama have become very very popular. Now when you say, just even before without saying the words Lalita or Vishnu, if generally someone makes a term Sahasranama, two things strike us, right? That is, one is Vishnu Sahasranama and another is Lalita Sahasranama. These two things come to our mind first. Simple reason being they are very much popular, commonly it is chanted and so on. In fact, Shankaracharya in one of his texts, that is Bhajagovindam, he refers to a shloka. Gyeyam Gita Nama Sahasram Dhyayam Shripati Rupam Ajasram. Gyeyam Gita Nama Sahasram. He says, whenever I say Gita and whenever I say Sahasranama, it is by default considered to be Bhagavad Gita and Vishnu Sahasranama, because that is the popularity of these shlokas. These two compositions that are there, they glorify Bhagavan Narayana, or they are, now Gita does not talk about any one god also, it's a way of life, but it has been told by Bhagavan Krishna to Arjuna. So now there are many Gitas. We have Rudra Gita, we have Devi Gita, we have Ganesha Gita and so many other Gitas. But in general when we say the term Gita, Bhagavad Gita comes to our mind. In general, when we say the term Sahasranama, Vishnu Sahasranama, Lalita Sahasranama, these come to our minds. And these are Sahasranamas that are chanted during specific occasions. In fact, many people have this habit of chanting these Sahasranamas daily as a part of our daily Parayana. Yeah? Now, let us first look at the introduction of Lalita Sahasranama. Now, Lalita Sahasranama specially is chanted during occasions like Navaratri, which is the most popular festival for the goddess. Now Lalita Sahasranama is 1,000 names of Parashakti or the Divine Mother, one of the most sacred prayers that are there, and it is a part of Brahmanda Puranam. Now this word Lalita, it actually comes from a Sanskrit dhatu, a Sanskrit shabdam called Lal, which actually means to play. Thus Lalita Devi is one who plays around. Now, in what sense it means plays is, she ensures that this life that we have is like a playground also, wherein we are all players. That is, she makes life very very easy, just as it is a small game. Similarly, when Lalita Devi showers her grace, life becomes very easy, it seems. That's how people, of course there are different interpretations that are done. Basically, Lalita is someone, the word itself means someone who is full of positivity, full of goodness and so on. Further, this Lalita Sahasranama is actually a conversation between Hayagriva. Hayagriva is the Hayaha Grivaha Yasya Saha. Hayaha horse, Grivaha neck. one who has the head of a neck, or that is one avataram of Bhagavan, Hayagriva avataram, Bhagavan Vishnu's avataram, and Agastya. So the conversation between Hayagriva Bhagavan and Agastya Rishi is this Lalita Sahasranama. Now usually if you see in Sanatana Dharma, we have all our scriptures basically, which are all conversations between two people. It is mostly in a question answer form. That is basically the Gita that is there is a conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. Similarly, Ramayana, Narada comes there, Brahma comes there, they tell Valmiki to write this. Similarly, Mahabharatam is a conversation that is there. So like this, you have lot of conversations which happen. Similarly, Vidura Niti is a conversation between two. So usually if you see, things are in a question answer format. Someone asks a question, for that an answer comes in. In fact, even all the Puranas that are there, Rishi Romaharshana, he conveys the teachings of the Puranas to an assembly of sages. So similarly, Lalita Sahasranama also is a conversation between Hayagriva Bhagavan and Agastya. Now Lalita Sahasranama in general, though Lalita Devi is said to be a form of Devi Parvati, she is usually used for the Lalita Sahasranama is generally used for worshipping other forms of the goddess also, like Durga, Saraswati, Parvati, Bhagavati, and so on. And like I told you, this Sahasranama in the form of a stotram, we do the Parayanam, recitation is done, Archana is done, like chanting every Namavali, and also while doing Homa. Similarly, whenever you have Navaratri Homam also in temple, especially if you go, there also this Lalita Sahasranama is chanted. Now, the Lalita Sahasranama actually has got three parts. You have a Purva Bhagam, that is the initial part, then you have the actual Sahasranama, and then you have the Uttara Bhagam, or the concluding part, the Phalasruti part. Now, in fact, in the Brahmanda Puranam, you have an entire section for Lalita Devi, which talks about the glories of Lalita Tripura Sundari. Out of that, only one small portion is this Lalita Sahasranama. So, in fact, it is said that in the Purva Bhagam of the Lalita Sahasranamam, Rishi Agastya asks Hayagriva Bhagavan, it seems, that you have told me the history, the story of Lalita Devi, everything is done. You have told me about her birth, how Lalita Devi has killed a demon called Bhandasura and so on. But you have not told me the 1,000 names of Lalita Devi. So basically the story of Lalita Devi has been told in Brahmanda Purana. Maybe in some other session I'll tell you the detailed story of Lalita Devi also. But now Agastya Rishi says, I want to know something about the 1,000 names of the goddess. Why you did not tell me those names? Did you forget to tell me, or on purpose you have not told me? Or is it that I should not hear it? Something like that. So Agastya Bhagavan asks a lot of questions to Hayagriva. That's when Hayagriva tells Agastya that Lalita Devi has got thousands of namas. But this set of 1,000 namas, which are a part of Lalita Sahasranama, they are said to be the most blessed and pleasing to the goddess. Now this Lalita Sahasranama, how it has been composed is, it has been composed by 8 Vagdevis. Now who are these Vagdevis? Vasini, Kameshwari, Aruna, Vimala, Jaini, Modini, Sarveshwari, Kaulini. These are a combination of 8 Vagdevis who are there. And these 8 Vagdevis have composed the Lalita Sahasranama on the command of goddess Lalita herself. It seems that once Lalita Devi was sitting on a simhasanam, on a throne it seems, and she was giving darshanam to everyone. This description is told by Hayagriva in the Purva Bhagam of the Sahasranama. And who all had come to worship the goddess? There were Brahma, then Brahma's consort is Brahmani. Similarly, lot of Narayanas had come, it seems, with crores of Lakshmi. Similarly, Rudras had come with crores of Gauris. That means everything was seen in a larger proportion. So it seems that now just as we have one universe, one Brahmandam we say, right? Similarly, there were many universes, it seems, many Brahmandas who had come together to seek the darshanam for of Lalita Devi. That's why we had many Brahmas, many Vishnus, many Shivas. For one universe, there is one God. That's how we relate. There are many universes, different forms of Brahma were there. That is basically different Brahmas were seen, it seems. Similarly, various forms of Shaktis had come in, Mantrini, Dandini and so on. Lot of Siddhas, sages, Devas, everyone had come. That's when, in that assembly it seems that these Vagdevis, they chanted. They had Vashini, who was their leader. They recited these 1,000 names of goddess Lalita, and Lalita Parmeshwari became very pleased by hearing this. And it seems that, in fact, you have great commentators like a person called Bhaskara Raya. Now, what does this Bhaskara Raya say? He says that unlike other Sahasranamas, the Lalita Sahasranamam is that Sahasranamam which has got no repetition of namas. In fact, if you take up any Sahasranama, there's 1,000 names of Bhagavan, but there is no rule anywhere that there should be no repetition of the nama. Maybe the meaning can be different, that is, the meaning can be interpreted different, but the nama can still remain the same. Whereas in the Lalita Sahasranama, all the 1,000 names of the goddess are different. There is no repetition at all. This is one very important uniqueness of the Sahasranama. Similarly, in the Lalita Sahasranama, you don't have words often like eva, cha and so on. Now in Sanskrit, why are these words used? Usually just to complete a meter. You say there is a gap somewhere I am not able to find out a proper word. So usually poets use such terms, tu, eva, cha and so on. Whereas Lalita Sahasranama does not have all these terms at all. Why so? Because it has been composed by the Vagdevis themselves. And Lalita Devi herself, whoever was present in that assembly, she tells that the Vagdevis have composed this Sahasranama at my command. I have told them, it has got all my divine names. Therefore, whoever is present here, always keep chanting this prayer so that I will be very pleased. So Lalita Sahasranama is that Sahasranama which is being chanted by the gods, devis, sages themselves. And she further says that you please teach it to my bhaktas, my devotees also. And a person who chants these 1,000 namas is very much close to me, and I will ensure that all their desires are fulfilled. Therefore, always keep chanting my Sahasranama with lot of bhakti and devotion. So, this is another feature of the Lalita Sahasranama, wherein the goddess herself blesses and tells all her devotees to chant these namas. Now, for people who are initiated into Sri Vidya, that is a form of Devi worship also, they regularly keep reciting the Lalita Sahasranama and so on. But Lalita Devi herself says that even if there are people who are not initiated into the Sri Vidya tradition, or maybe they are not able to do puja, japa, and now you see some people, we are able to do a very detailed puja, right, in our houses. Maybe some of us are not able to do that. But simply also, if we chant this nama, Goddess herself says that that person will get the same phalam, same merit by reciting just the Sahasranama alone. It is equal to doing puja, japa, everything in detail. Hayagriva continues. He tells Agastya that from that time onwards, as told by Lalita Devi, Brahma, Vishnu, the Shaktis, Maheshwara, even they also recite the Lalita Sahasranama with lot of bhakti. Therefore, all devotees also must recite the Sahasranama to be blessed by Mother Lalita. Now, he further says that, now you please listen with bhakti. There is a dhyana shlokam. Now, the first dhyana shlokam of Lalita Sahasranama, Sindhura Runa Vigraha Trinayana Manikya Maulis Phurat Taranayaka Shekharam Smita Mukhim Apina Vakshoruham Dhyayet Param Ambikam. We'll chant once again. Sindhuraruna Vigraham Trinayanam Manikya Maulis Phurat Taranayaka Shekharam Smita Mukhim Apina Vakshoruham Panibhyam Alipurna Ratna Chashakam Raktotpalam Bibhratim Saumyam Ratna Ghatasta Rakta Charanam Dhyayet Param Ambikam. The first dhyana shloka describes the beauty of the goddess, wherein it says that goddess is red like the kunkuma powder with 3 eyes, it seems. She has lot of gems studded. The moon is like a jewel for her. She has got a very beautiful smiling face. She has a red vessel in her hands full of gems. She has a red lotus. Her feet are also reddish in color, and she has kept them on a vase, it seems, like a small place where you can keep your feet. That is also studded with precious stones. And this shloka, now what is the purpose of a dhyana shlokam is, before we actually start reciting the 1,000 names of the goddess, we need to fix our mind, right? Our mind is running here and there, a lot of thoughts coming in, a lot of distractions coming in. That's when, to focus our minds, we start this dhyana shloka, so that this description of the goddess, this beautiful description of the goddess, a devotee can keep in their mind while reciting the Sahasranama. Similarly, in other stotras also we have this dhyana shlokams. They are usually for this purpose only. And then after this dhyana shloka, you have 2-3 more shlokas. After that, you have the actual Sahasranama that starts. Now, the Lalita Sahasranama has got lot of sections. In fact, initially you have the avataram of the goddess that is described. And the first of the 1000 namas is Shri Mata. And the last also, the 1000th nama is also Shri Mata or Lalita Ambika. And both of them refer to the goddess as one's mother. Like this, there are a lot of important namas that have been told in the Sahasranama. You have the killing, how the goddess killed Pandasura. This demon, that description is also in the Lalita Sahasranama. Further, the Sahasranama also describes how Devi herself is Shakti. Now, inside our bodies, we have a lot of chakras, right? Or we have something called Kundalini Shakti. What is this Kundalini Shakti? Below our spine, or in the Mooladhara Chakram. Mooladhara Chakram is actually the base of our spine. We have a Shakti, that is it. We can sit erect, right? Why we can sit erect? Because our spine is there. If some people have some spine issues, back issues also, they cannot sit erect, or they have some pain. That's because there is some problem in the Mooladhara Chakram. That means Kundalini Shakti is not functioning properly. So Devi herself is actually Kundalini Shakti. So it seems that as people progress spiritually also, Shakti, that is her, she keeps moving upwards towards, from the back of the spine, she comes near the navel part. Finally, she comes to the heart. Finally, between the two eyebrows, that is Agnya Chakram also. And finally, to the Sahasrara Chakram. Sahasrara Chakram is the tip of our head. So, this is basically nothing but, don't get confused with the terms. The point is, energy that is there usually needs to flow upwards, right? Now, whenever we feel happy also, what happens? We feel some positivity that comes in, right? Energy is always upwards. So, basically, when Devi Kataksham is there, all the Shakti or the energy inside our bodies should always keep coming upwards. So when it comes upwards, it actually indicates spiritual progress of a devotee. All this description has been told in the Lalita Sahasranama. Further, you have also the Anugraham of the goddess, how the goddess showers her grace on bhaktas. That's when you have names like Bhavani, Shambhavi, Shankari and so on. Like this, these namas, it says that they give happiness or prosperity to devotees. Similarly, Bhavaranya Kutharika, Bhava Aranya Kutharika. Kutharam is an axe. That is, goddess is one who cuts down this forest of samsaram, or this forest of existence that is there, wherein we are facing a lot of problems, difficulties also. She cuts all of that like an axe. Similarly, a lot of names come in which describe about the goddess. Similarly, how the Divine Mother should be worshipped, all that is also further told in the Lalita Sahasranama. Now, in fact, Srimad Bhagavatam gives the definition of Bhagavan. Now, whom do we term as Bhagavan? Yatha tvam kripaya bhutya tejasa mahimaujasa jushta isha gunai sarvaihi tatosi Bhagavan prabhuhu. That being, or that Bhagavan, that Lord, who has got kripa, who has got mercy, who has got bhuti, bhuti is power, prosperity, tejas, that is brilliance, mahima, glory, and ojas, that is strength. All these qualities together, if they are there in a being, in the Lord, that person is termed to be Bhagavan. Now we don't have all these qualities. That is, we might have this, but it keeps changing. Today maybe I have lot of mercy, lot of kripa in me. I am ready to forgive anyone today because I am very happy. Tomorrow maybe my mood is not good. Even if a person does not do anything wrong, I will keep getting angry on that person. This is human quality. Whereas in the case of Bhagavan, these qualities that are there, they are always present in the Lord. That's why he is called as Bhagavan. The goddess is Bhagavati, that is a feminine form of Bhagavan. She has got all these 6 qualities paripurnam, fully. That's why she is Bhagavati. That's why you go to Kerala especially, you have Bhagavati temple that is told, right? Or the goddess is referred to as Bhagavati. This is the reason for this. And Bhagavati Seva, the worship of Bhagavati is especially very much popular, especially during this month of July, August also, wherein we do Lalita Sahasranama Archana to Parashakti. Further, you have the names of the goddess which are in detail described. Like for example, few names are Adi Shakti, that is the energy behind the cause of this universe. Bandhamochani, one who liberates us or one who frees us from these bonds of ignorance, Ajnanam, Samsaram and so on. Like this, lot of namas have been told in this Sahasranama. Now, the last nama that is there is Lalita Ambika. That means one who's actually literally playing about or sporting about. One who has got a very positive, you can say, just now you see sometimes some experiences or some people, just by being around with them or just by doing that thing, we feel very happy, right? Or we feel very positive. This is the glory of Lalita Ambika also. Now coming to the Phalasruti part. Further now, Hayagriva Bhagavan, he tells Agastya that Anena sadrisham stotram na bhutam na bhavishyati. He says, there never has been nor will be there in future a stotram which can equal Lalita Sahasranama stotram. And further he continues that this stotram is Lalita Preetidayaka, meaning it pleases, it makes Lalita Devi happy. And Hayagriva himself, he describes a Phalasruti also of chanting the Lalita Sahasranama with Shraddha and Bhakti. He says that this Sahasranama blesses a Bhakta with good health, prosperity. It will avoid untimely death situations also. One will be freed from diseases. One will be blessed with a long, healthy life. Similarly, people who are praying for good children also, they will be blessed with children. Similarly, different desires also will be fulfilled. One will always be on the part of dharma, doing good things also. Similarly, a proper balance of the four purusharthas, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. We need food, all of them, right? Dharma, always on the right path. Artha, we need money, wealth also to survive. Similarly, kama is desire, or you can say some fulfillment of, you can say everyone, we have got our dreams also. Without that, a human being cannot survive. That also should be in proper proportion. If these three are there, dharma, artha, kama, automatically moksha will be easy to be obtained. So all this Lalita Devi blesses. So further Hayagriva Bhagavan, he continues in the Phalasruti part of the Sahasranama. He says, just as one who takes a dip in the Ganga Nadi and other holy rivers also for a crore lifetimes, not one lifetime, for 1 crore lifetimes, 1 crore janmas. If you take a dip in the Ganga, if you take a dip in the holy rivers also, similarly you establish, that is you make, you can say 1 crore Shivalingas. Similarly, you give away 1 crore gold coins also, especially to, it is said that during Grahana Kalam, that is there, you have the Surya Grahanam, Chandra Grahanam and so on. During that time, if you do a lot of this Dana Dharmam also, similarly if you perform a crore Ashwamedha sacrifices, or you take lot of wells also, everything is given in crores, and you feed a crore Brahmanas. By doing all these things, just imagine the amount of punya or good merit that you would get for 1,000 years also. All this benefit is equal to chanting the Lalita Sahasranama with proper faith, that is with proper Shraddha and Bhakti, at least once in a lifetime, not even every day also. Once in a lifetime, if we chant Lalita Sahasranama with full Shraddha and Bhakti, it is said that these merits will be obtained. Now, it is not that, okay, I'll do this, I'll get this merit, I'll do that, I'll get that merit. It is not for that sake. Why this Phalasruti part has been elaborated by Hayagriva Bhagavan, especially in the Brahmanda Puranam, is to know about the significance or importance such a divine Sahasranama this is. And moreover, it is said that lot of Papa Karma, lot of sins that we do, knowingly, unknowingly. Now, maybe 10 things we do knowingly, there will be 20 things we do unknowingly, right? Maybe not with an intention also, but maybe we might end up hurting someone. So, it all leads to sin. But even if you chant, not even the entire Sahasranama, even one Nama of the goddess with Bhakti, all those sins also will go away. So therefore, if today we have all got a chance to learn this Sahasranama or even listen to the glory of this divine Sahasranama, it is nothing but the grace of the goddess alone. One is self-interest, that is fine. I got an opportunity to learn, I wish to learn, it's happening, that all that is fine. But if out of so many other things in life, if a few people have been chosen, including you and me, is nothing but the grace of the goddess only. There are many, many things to do. Out of that, if we take out some time to learn the Sahasranama, to hear more about it and so on, it is nothing but the grace of the goddess alone. Amongst crores and millions of people in the world, the goddess herself has chosen us to chant her Nama, to listen to the glory of her Nama. It is nothing but the grace of the goddess alone. Therefore, now when should this Sahasranama be chanted? One is every day you can do this Parayana, or on specific occasions, like for example, when you have the Sankramana. Now what exactly is a Sankramana? You have the sun who moves to different Rashis every month, right? Usually it is mid-month, around 15, 16, 17. During that time, the dates differ a bit. During that time, the sun, it moves from one Rashi to the next Rashi. That's how we have our zodiac signs and so on, right? That is nothing but the Sankramana. Or the Sankranti. Popularly, we celebrate only one Sankranti or one Sankramanam, that is a Makara Sankramanam in the month of January, right? When we have Pongal and other festivals, Makara Sankranti, the kite festival and so on. But every month is actually a Sankramanam, which maybe is not very much popular for all of us. We don't celebrate it as a festival also, but we must know that Sankraman is nothing but the movement of the sun from one Rashi to the next. So during this Tithi, especially Lalita Sahasranama needs to be chanted. Also on one's own Janma Nakshatram day. Now everyone, we have our English birthdays. Apart from that, we have our star birthdays also, right? It comes once in a year. But every month you have your Janma Nakshatram which falls. That month you are not born, but you have your Nakshatram that comes that day. On that day, definitely you can chant this Lalita Sahasranama, especially on Fridays, Tuesdays, very popular for the goddess. And also on specific tithis like the Navami Tithi, the Chaturdashi Tithi, and on the Purnami day, that is the full moon night. Similarly, one who chants the Sahasranama along with the Pancha Upachara Puja, Pancha Sankhyopacharini, this Nama comes in the Lalita Sahasranama only. Pancha Upachara Puja is nothing but offering of Gandham, Pushpam, Dhrubam, Deepam, Nevidyam. Gandham, good smell also. Pushpam, flower. Dhupam, Dhupa, Agarbati. Deepam, Arati that we show, and Nevidyam. Any Nevidyam of your choice. Usually for the goddess, Dadima Kusuma Priya, Dadima Phala. Pomegranate fruit is very much dear to the goddess. Similarly, Kusuma Priya. Kusumam is flowers. Red, white flowers are very much dear for the goddess. Or any rice variety, any sweet variety, anything. If nothing is possible, glass of water. Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, Toyam, Yome, Bhaktya, Prayachati. Anything is fine. But one who does the Sahasranama chanting by offering these things, Pancha Upacharam, it seems that they will be blessed in their life and they will be freed from all kinds of diseases, illnesses also. In fact, it is said that further, one who recites the Sahasranama, on that person's tongue, it seems that Vagdevi resides, that is a goddess of speech, goddess Saraswati herself resides on the tongue of a Bhakta who recites the Sahasranama, meaning that devotee is blessed with the power of good speech and he will never hurt anyone. Now many times what happens is, it is said that more than a weapon, one's speech is something that hurts people, right? Because you cannot take your words back. So this Sahasranama, chanting of the Sahasranama ensures that we always speak good and positive things only. And the Phalasruti further elaborates saying that one who worships the mother with the Sahasranama, they become one with Lalita Ambika herself. And especially one who regularly on a Friday evening or so, after you light the lamp, if you chant the Sahasranama, it leads to a lot of positivity. Basically, Sayujyam. Sayujyam is close connection with the goddess. Nishkamat kirtayetyastu nama sahasramuttamam brahmajnanam avapnoti yena muccheta bandhanat. This shloka comes in the Phalasruti part, which says that if one chants the supreme Sahasranama without having any selfish desire, that person will get brahmajnana, knowledge, ultimate knowledge, which will free him from this samsaram. That is, ultimately he will attain moksha, become one with Lalita Ambika herself. So like this divine Sahasranama that is there will bless us with all good things, especially in the Kali Yugam also, when we say right, there is a lot of negativity around, a lot of bad things happening and so on. This Sahasranama is something which will protect us from all kinds of evil influences that are there. Now there are lot of Sahasranamas in praise of the goddess also. You have Ganga Sahasranamam, Bhavani Sahasranamam, Gayatri, Kali, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Rajarajeshwari, Bala, Shyamala and Lalita. These are 1000 names, Sahasranamas of the Devi especially. Out of this, Lalita Sahasranama is the most popular, or it is also declared to be the best. Now there is no comparison. It's not that one Sahasranama is great, another is lower. It is something which becomes more popular. It describes about all the goddesses, the divine Shakti. So therefore Lalita Sahasranama is said to be chanted very, very popularly. And further it is said that one who chants the Sahasranama, he will not get a rebirth again, it seems. That is what is told again. Thus all this has been told by Hayagriva to Agastya, and Hayagriva, he meditates on Mother Lalita and merges into Anandam, that is merges into bliss it seems. So this is the power, or you can say this is the story behind Lalita Sahasranama, the grace of how the goddess showered through Hayagriva, through the conversation between Hayagriva and Agastya. Further, Hayagriva Bhagavan also tells one more thing to Agastya. It seems that initially, now he told the story of Lalita Devi, many other things were told by Hayagriva to Agastya, but he skipped the 1000 names of the goddess. So when Agastya questions on this, Hayagriva Bhagavan says that this is something which is very secretive in nature. It should not be told to anyone and everyone. It's not that, hey, come here, I am teaching you 10 names also, please chant it from tomorrow. It doesn't happen that way. It needs the divine grace of the goddess to be showered upon. So today if I am telling you this knowledge, you please learn it with lot of Shraddha and Bhakti, and later also teach it to many other devotees who have the Shraddha and Bhakti in them. This is what Hayagriva Bhagavan tells Agastya, and then only he reveals these namas. So if a great sage like Agastya also had to, you can say, not easily get this knowledge from Hayagriva Bhagavan, what to talk about devotees like you and me who have got an opportunity to learn this Sahasranama by the grace of the goddess. So let us put in our best of efforts to learn this Sahasranama and be blessed by the goddess. We'll just chant the few dhyana shlokas and then we'll conclude. Sindhuraruna vigraha trinayanam manikya तारानायकशेखरां स्मितमुखीं आपीनवक्षोरुहां पाणिभ्याम् अलिपूर्णरत्नचषकं रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीं सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तशरणां ध्यायेत् पराम् अम्बिकाम् अरुणां करुणा तरङ्गिताक्षीं धृतपाशाङ्कुश पुष्पबाणचापाम् अणिमादिभिरावृतां मयूखैः अहमित्येव विभावये भवानीं ध्यायेत् पद्मासनस्तां विकसितवदनां पद्मपत्रायताक्षीं हेमाभां पीतवस्त्रां करकलितलसत् हेमपद्मां वराङ्गीं सर्वालङ्कारयुक्तां सततमभयदां भक्तनम्रां भवानीं श्रीविद्यां शान्तमूर्तिं सकलसुरनुतां सर्वसम्पत्प्रदात्रीं सकुङ्कुमविलेपनाम् अलिकचुम्बिकस्तूरिकां समन्दहसिते क्षणां सशरचाप पाशाङ्कुशाम् अशेषजनमोहिनीम् अरुणमाल्य भूषाम्बरां जपाकुसुमभासुरां जपविधौ स्मरेत् अम्बिकाम्.